Workforce Flathead Opportunity Fair. I'm Kathy with FVCC, and I'll be the moderator for this session today. A little bit of housekeeping. The videos that we record throughout this whole month are going to be placed and already are placed on the Job Service Kalispell YouTube channel, as well as the Kalispell Chamber's workforceflathead.com site. So a couple places for people to review and share. So thank you so much. We have Enoch Stump with us from Turning Winds, and I would love to hear a little bit more about Turning Winds and who you are, what you're looking for.
Thank you. Turning Winds is a therapeutic boarding school in Yaak, Montana, just outside of Troy, Montana. We have kids from 13 to 17 years old. They're typically here for about a year worth of time, focusing on academics and activities as well as therapy. Specifically, we are looking for some people to come join our team to work directly with our kids and help support the activities, as well as connect and build some relationships with our kids. Turning Wind's been around for 20 years, and we're fully accredited private school along with CARF accredited. And we're in a remote location, but we have a beautiful 150-acre campus, probably about 45 minutes outside of Troy and Libby.
Okay. So it's exciting to learn about businesses I have not heard of before. And so what else can you tell us? What sort of things are you looking for in employees?
Yeah, cool. So Turning Winds it's sort of a family ran company. We've got about 50 employees. We're looking specifically for high character people that can interact and build relationships with our kids. We're not looking for a lot of specific experience in our industry. I have found that there's a lot of different ways that you can be effective with working with our population. It's one of those jobs that if it fits you and if it's the right fit for us, it's the best job you'll ever have. It's most of us are called to do this work, and we really are part of changing lives at Turning Winds. Kids come from all over the U.S., all over the world, and they get the support that they need. And so anyway, we're very relationship focused. We try to inspire our kids through relationship and through example. And then through also a myriad of lots of fun kind of activities that we do. We're in a very beautiful location, but we also travel a lot. We do equine therapy, we do backpacking trips. When COVID's not around, we do international service trips all over the world, taking our kids and working with third world countries. So specifically, I'm looking for people that can build relationships that either have prior experience working with people, or, sometimes we're in sort of an interesting place because sometimes having kind of a rougher background in your youth or earlier is actually really great training to come and help inspire the next generation and do some different things. So specifically, we need a high school diploma. If you have more education, that's preferred, but at least a high school diploma. And we spend a lot of time training our staff and employees. We're looking for people to be here long-term, not just jobs, but careers. So there's a lot of advancement opportunity at Turning Winds. We're our business is going quite well, and we're looking to expand our business as well. And so we're looking to hire quite a few people over the next 3 or 4 months and kind of ramp up so that we can do some expansion as well.
Mm-hmm. So, and are you looking more for part-time, full-time, a combination thereof?
Yeah, thanks. I'm open to all those things. I'm open to full-time or part-time. We've got 3 shifts. We've got a morning shift from 7 to 3, an evening shift from 3 to 11, which is our most common need, is the evening shift. And then we have a graveyard shift from 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking for all of those positions as well as the weekends. We have unique opportunity that staff, especially if they're coming from the Kalispell area, can come and spend their week with us. We've got housing on site. And so if you want to spend 3 days and you do 2 16-hour shifts and an 8-hour shift, and then you stay on our campus, that's available to you. All food is included and things of that nature is included while you're here. doing your work week. So we have staff from Spokane or Kalispell that stay during their week on campus.
Wow. So you offer room and board while people are working.
We do, yeah.
I just wrote that down. That's really good information. And you also mentioned advancement opportunities. Can you share what a typical path might look like? Or maybe there's not a typical path.
Well, we've got a fully accredited school. So a lot of our staff actually, if you're going back to school, maybe to become a teacher or something else, you can actually work with us in the academic setting and then grow to become a teacher with us. So we've had several staff that have done that. We also have staff that are working to become licensed therapists, and it's always great. Sort of the specific job that we're looking for right now is called a resident advisor, and basically what that means is you're sort of a parent with the kids as they're going about their activities and their day. There's a lot of behaviors, there's a lot of challenges that need to get addressed. And so all of us, whether you're administration, you're in our medical team, you're a nurse, or you're one of our doctors, or you're a clinician, or you're a teacher, all of us have the kind of the foundation of working with kids, understanding our policies, understanding our rules. And then you can go in lots of different areas. We've got most of our positions, teachers, therapists, have been grown from inside. We have a lot of people that started out as a resident advisor, and then we've grown a lot over the last 15 years. And so there's been a lot of openings and a lot of new positions created because we have some really talented people, and we're looking for ways to sort of balance what they bring in. And so we're very strength-based as far as our focus with our kids, but also with our staff. We've learned that working in Montana, we've got some amazing people that don't always fit the perfect mold, but they've got some really strong talents and abilities. And so Turning Winds has really tried to be open-minded to how we can maximize those things for our school's benefit, but as well as for our staff, so they can thrive and then end up being at Turning Winds for years, as opposed to, our business kind of has a history of having a quick turnover rate, but Turning Winds doesn't. And a lot of that is because how we treat our employees, and then also trying to give them the balance to make it a very rewarding job, which is the one thing that stands out for working at Turning Winds is if you get it, it'll be one of the best things you'll ever do. But again, we always have typically a shadow period for our staff to come on, because it is very unique. It does require things that are different than a typical job. And so it's got to work for both, not only Turning Winds, but as the people that we're looking for as well.
And so that shadow period, is that generally a certain period of time, or does it just sort of depend with each person?
I mean, it depends. There's almost part of the interviewing process is we will have them shadow a shift or two. And then there's a 30-day process where they're just shadowing and observing our team before they're really, before we even jump into a lot of the orientation phase. And again, we spend 3 months just sort of training and getting people up to speed on how to do Turning Winds and our approach and understanding our policies. And so there's a month of shadowing where you're just observing, and then we sort of jump into orientation and do a lot more specific training, everything from non-critical or non-violent physical intervention training, where if you have to go hands-on with the kid, we're going to go through specific training for that, first aid, CPR, those sort of things.
So for an applicant who doesn't have a lot of experience, but that's really interested in this field, what would be some good qualities for them to possess and when they apply? And I'm sure some things, like you said, can be developed as you go.
Yeah, it's really people skills. I mean, we've got kids from 13 to 17, but we interact with them the same way we do with adults. So if you like interacting with people, then that sort of opens the door. We're also kind of a high energy environment. So when you're working with teenagers, you got to meet them at their energy level. And so just having kind of an interest or a want for the outdoors is nice. We do a lot of outdoors things. We do hiking. And so you've got to be physically able. We don't do something really intense. We're not going on 10-mile hikes, but you will have to engage with our kids. Sometimes we'll be playing sports. And so if you've got an activity background at all, that's very helpful at Turning Winds. But mostly it's it's having good boundaries and limits. We typically, our staffing, I think it ranges from about 30 to 50 or 30 to 60 in that range. We rarely have people in their 20s because it takes kind of a strong boundary and limit to be able to set with our teenagers. And so you've got to be able to be secure in yourself and who you are. But other than that, there's a lot of different backgrounds that I found to be successful at Turning Winds. And so everybody's story is different. I'm eager to meet a lot of different people and to see if they're a good fit. Over the years, I've had a lot of people not feel confident that they could do something like this until they came up and talked to us and got a sense for what the job was, and then they thrived. And so it's not something that you need a lot of specific experience, except for life. I need high moral, high value kind of human beings is the number one priority. We've got to be able to trust them with our kids.
Mm-hmm. People that can be good examples for how to navigate life. Yeah. Okay. Well, and so looking into the future, what are you most excited about with Turning Winds?
Man, so Turning Winds, so there's a lot of exciting things about Turning Winds. Turning Winds we have one of the strongest teams we've ever had, ever. And so we've got some really talented people in our leadership team that are helping to develop our people, as well as we're looking to expand into a couple different ways. We would like to be able to offer different kind of services to our kids. We pretty much have a waiting list most of the time for our beds. And so we're looking at being able to offer them new services, but it all comes down to finding the right people. And we will only move as fast as the good people that we have. And so the first step of that is to sort of acquire a team and start training and developing them so that we can expand and continue changing lives. And we're part of a really important mission. And because we are, 50 or so strong, really talented people, we do a really amazing work with these families. And so Turning Winds is a very exciting place to be. It's a great company to work for. It's family ran, and all of the administration, all of the people that oversee our policies and procedures, we're running the day-to-day, but we're also interacting with our staff, interacting with our kids. And so it's, one person can be a game changer in our business, and we're looking for those people.
Mm-hmm. And different people bring different skills and abilities and talents and things to share with your students. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there a particular path? I know you said all sorts of different backgrounds, but if someone were thinking of applying, is there, you said people skills, the ability to sort of set boundaries. Is there anything else that people that are interested in this sort of field should maybe research or learn about, or are you really just looking for?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a wide spectrum of the kind of people that we're looking for, right? And so I don't want to classify it too much. I think all of us are teaching something, and so I've got teachers that are teaching math and science. I've got therapists that are teaching tools and skills, and I've got resident advisors that are teaching about life and about interaction and about how to cope and manage in those situations. And so I really just think if you feel like there's something that you have to give, this is every time you come to work, you have the opportunity to make a difference with your time and with your example and with your life. And so that can come from a lot of different ways, to be honest. So I don't know more specifically how to put that.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's a world of possibilities depending on what each individual brings to your organization. Yeah. Oh.
It's true, and the nice thing about Turning Winds, obviously, I think this is Kalispell, and so we're probably 2 hours away from Kalispell, I would say, and so the idea that you could come and you could stay here for your work week, both works well for us and hopefully gives people the option. We prefer that schedule to be on the weekend, and so typically that would be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday that they would come and be here. But hopefully there's a lot of flexibility because we are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so there's maybe options that will fit people's schedule. Well, and let me just add,
Mhm.
Background checks, and we do a thorough vetting. And so working in this industry, we're going to have very significant background checks and childcare references. And so anybody with any significant issues with law enforcement may have a challenge working here. We're going to do drug testing, and we're going to do fingerprints and all of those things, as well as you've got to be able to, carry 50 pounds. And again, if we have to, in the rare situation, go hands-on with a kid, which Turning Winds doesn't happen very often, but you've got to be able and prepared to be able to do that. And we go through specific training to do that, but physically, you'll have to be able to.
Okay. Well, Enoch, we're getting towards the end of our time together, and it sounds like there's all sorts of opportunities, advancement opportunities, training, and that you have low staff turnover, which speaks volumes. Is there anything you'd like to sum up with our time today?
No, I think that if you're curious about the field, if you're interested and want to learn more, then reach out to us. We would love to talk to you about it and see if you're a good fit. And so again, I think that some people are cautious because they think, my experience doesn't bode well, but let us be the judge. Let us talk you through some of those things. And so I don't know if we left, but the best way to get a hold of us, and I'll add this to a slide potentially, is probably my email address. I think we originally had turningwinds.com, but I would like to make sure that I change that and we put my specific email address, which is enoch@turningwinds.com.
Okay. Well, I am sharing the turningwinds.com, but we can certainly add that to the information on the YouTube channel. So enoch@turningwinds.com. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. It's been wonderful to hear more about what Turning Winds offers and what you're looking for. As a reminder, this will be on Job Service Kalispell's YouTube channel for people to share and rewatch. It will also be on workforceflathead.com. So thank you so much for taking the time, Enoch. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Take care.